91.5 Phuket Island Radio.
Yes, you are listening to 91.5 FM. It's with me, Gary, with The Breakfast Show. And it's Monday morning, and I've got a very special guest in the studio with me today. It's a headmaster, so I am on my best behaviour, I promise, sir. And we have got Mr. Dennison PIADS from PIADS. A very good morning to you, sir.
Thank you very much indeed for inviting me.
You're welcome. How was your weekend? Had a good weekend?
My weekend was wonderful.
Yeah? Do you find it goes round very quickly to Monday morning, though?
Yes. I say the weekend was wonderful, but we promised not to talk about rugby.
Okay. Well, you said, yes, we won't talk about rugby.
We won't talk about rugby.
And
we'll talk about education.
Okay, education. I promise I won't mention anything about the Welsh team on Saturday. Okay.
And I promise not to mention QPR.
Thank you very much. So it's lovely to have you in the studio today. And just a few questions, a chat with you. After the exposure you received on 91.5, is your scholarship programme for the school taking off now?
It is. We've been very grateful to 91.5 for the exposure it's given us at key times of the day. And we've had a significant number of applications in for scholarships. We offer scholarships for academics, for sporting prowess, for music and fine arts in general, and for good citizenship. The intention is to enable children who come from homes who would not otherwise be able to afford our fees to be able to come in and take a scholarship and add value to the school.
Yeah, wow.
So it's been a really, really good time of getting applications in.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm glad we've been helping to be able to take part with you on here at 91.5 FM. So what sort of students are you looking for in the scholarship application?
We're looking for children who can add value to the school.
Yeah.
And to whom we can give something. The school is an international baccalaureate world school. And has no other programs. It's not a British curriculum or an American curriculum or a Thai curriculum. It's definitely an international curriculum which takes the best of national systems and international systems and is founded upon the solid gold standard of the international baccalaureate programs. We know that we can give a good education to those young people who come to us.
Yes.
And at present they come from 28 different nations. But what we want in return is a contribution to the school. We want the young people who come in to be able to give as well as to take, whether it's academically, on the sports field, musically, good citizenship. So there's a synergy there whereby we give something and we look for something.
Yeah, works, teamwork.
It works.
So now I'm going to ask you a question with that word earlier that you just mentioned in that sentence. I understand that you are an international baccalaureate. Did I get it right? World school. So what does that actually mean to people?
The International Baccalaureate is something that was begun many years ago, 1961, as a university entrance examination for young people who were basically third culture kids, although the term hadn't been identified. They're children who might have lived in 3 or 4 different countries by the time they were 16 years old, who didn't do national examinations but needed an international qualification in order to be able to go on to university. And for many years the IB, as it's called, the IB diploma, which covers children in their last 2 years of education pre-university, was recognized as the gold standard in education. In the 90s the IB added to that the middle years program, which deals with children from the ages of 11 through 16, and also the primary years program, which covers children from the age of 3 to the age of 11. So there's a seamless robe of education from the age of 3 to the age of 18, which gives children the ability to have a world-class education wherever they may be in the world. So we minister basically to internationally mobile expatriate children, resident expatriate children, and internationally minded Thai children.
Yeah. That's I'm learning something as well myself today. It's Monday morning. So,
it's a great program.
Yeah, I'm glad. You've indicated that the Phuket International Academy Day School stands on two pillars. What does that actually mean?
Okay. All schools are interested in the educational program that they offer to their children. And we used to talk about academic excellence. We talk more these days about educational excellence, because we understand that every child who comes to us is different. And our job is to enable each child to work to the best of his age or her age, aptitude and ability. And what's good for one child may not be good for another. So we're very conscious of the need to have academic rigor, a good educational program for every child that we take into the school. But what makes PIADS different, what makes it unique in many ways, is that as well as the academic aspects, there's the social and emotional learning aspects. We're heavily committed to social and emotional learning and secular mindfulness. So we have a director of social emotional learning and mindfulness on the school's leadership team, as well as academic principals for the two schools. We really don't want to produce amoral educational geniuses. We want children who have values in their lives. And because the International Baccalaureate has 10 trays, which we call the learner profile, which gels so well into what we offer in our social and emotional learning aspects, the educational and the social and emotional learning and secular mindfulness work very, very well together. And the school is a world leader, and our director of social emotional learning and secular mindfulness is asked to go all over the world, Hong Kong, The Hague, because Kristen is a world leader in this.
Wow. Where were you when I was growing up and in my school? This would have been perfect. I might not have ended up on radio.
There we are.
We know that the school's been growing and developing over the past few years. Where are you now, and what's your future plans?
When the school was first begun in 2008, it was basically a primary school. And the work of 3 or 4 years came to fruition in June of 2012, when the primary school was authorized, as we call it, by the International Baccalaureate. What that means is that the school is authorized to offer the primary years program. So it means that I could come here and tell you our program is good, and it is good, it's excellent in fact.
Yes.
But we have an external imprimatur. The IB has been in and said, right, we understand that this school is of a certain distinction, has certain qualities, has certain attributes to it which make it an international baccalaureate world school. After 2008, the school has begun adding 1 year group each year. So we're now up to MYP4, which is grade 9. Next year we'll go to MYP5, which is grade 10. And at that stage, we will seek the authorization for the middle years program. But the real excitement is for 2014, when we intend to operate the International Baccalaureate Diploma program. Yep. And then we will be taking children into DP1 and 2, into grades 11 and 12. And as I was saying earlier, Gary, it's a seamless robe of education. Not to get too technical, but in the primary years, it's a transdisciplinary approach to education. In the middle years, it's an interdisciplinary approach. And then at the diploma level, it's a disciplinary approach. And international baccalaureate students with IB diplomas find their way into the best universities in the world. Ivy Leagues in the United States and the top universities elsewhere.
Wow.
It's valued. It's valued.
I'm glad you're saying a lot of these big words this morning on a Monday morning, because I would certainly be struggling there. So tell me about your student clientele. We know you have a number of different nationalities, like you said, in your student body. Is there any one dominant nationality from where, and where do the children come from?
Yeah, good question. we have 28 different nationalities amongst the student body and 14 different nationalities amongst the teaching faculty. So it's a genuinely multinational, international school. There is no one dominant nationality. At the present time, I believe we're running at 16% British, 14% Thai, and 13% American, and then another 25 different nationalities from all over the world. So who we're ministering to is three groups in the main. Number one is your traditional internationally mobile expatriate family that comes to an IB school because all good schools, whether they offer the IB or not, will be inquiry-based schools these days. So they'll come to a school which replicates their children's experience in their last post. So the internationally mobile expats are one of our markets. Another market is resident expats, people who may carry a Canadian or an American or a British passport, but for whom Phuket is home. Right. And their children come to us. And then internationally minded Thai children will come to us. So 28 different nationalities amongst the students, no one dominant nationality, and 14 different nationalities amongst the teaching faculty.
Right, I was just going to talk about them actually, because we've been touching on the students there. What about your teaching staff? From where do they come to teach?
Well, they come from all over the world. We look locally, obviously, and we have a number of Thai teachers on the staff. But when it comes to recruiting people, we look for people who are well qualified academically, but who are also philosophically committed to the direction in which we wish to take the school. And these days we do a lot of different ways. We'll go to some teacher recruiting fairs. We were in Bangkok last month and recruited some teachers there. We do a lot of Skype interviewing, telephoning, try to meet face to face wherever possible, and bring in people who are not simply good teachers, that goes without saying, but we're also philosophically committed to an inquiry-driven curriculum, which is the international baccalaureate way of doing things.
Yeah, set standards and...
Exactly.
Yes. So there is a number of international schools on the island, quite a few in Phuket, for instance. What do you think distinguishes PIADS as a school that should be in the forefront of people's minds when choosing a school for their child to go to?
Yeah, you're right. There is a number of international schools on the island, and whenever people come to PIADS to talk to us about their children's possible entrance into the school, we always encourage them to go to as many schools as possible, talk to the administration, the admissions people at those schools, in order to ensure that there's a good fit between them as a family and what the school is offering. My good friend Neil Richards is another bearded Welshman, and he's the head of the British International School here in Phuket. And I always encourage people, try out the various international schools, because when we receive a child, we receive a family. And we really want to be sure that the family is philosophically committed to the sort of international curriculum that we have. A modern, up-to-date, state-of-the-art curriculum based on solid research and best practice, which is particularly good for people who consider themselves to be internationally minded. If somebody wants an examination-driven curriculum or a test-driven curriculum, we're probably not the place for them. So what we try to do is work with other schools on the island and ensure that the people who come to us because of our distinct philosophy as a 3-program IB school which has no other influence at all.
Yeah, there's good morals there. I think there's, as I said to you earlier, I really wish you were around when I was being educated at boarding school.
We're nothing if not transparent. I mean, Gary, the thing is that if a family comes to our school and wants different approaches to education from what we're offering, and they put their child in, they're not going to be happy. We're not going to be happy, and most of all, the child's not going to be happy. So we try to be as transparent and honest as possible in all our dealings with parents, so that before they sign on the dotted line, they know exactly what they're getting into.
And I've got a couple of questions still left for you. before we wrap up before 9 o'clock. But given that PIADS is part of the well-known Tanapura organisation, what practical benefits does this bring for the children?
Well, it brings many. As you know, the Tanapura complex is divided into what we call four centres. So we have 4 sites with a common vision. There's a mind centre, and as I said earlier, the school is very much into secular mindfulness and social and emotional learning. There's a holistic health centre. There's perhaps the finest sports and leisure club, they tell me, in Asia.
Yeah.
I mean, from somebody from my background, having an IRB rugby field where you can play World Cup matches actually on the campus is fantastic. Olympic-sized swimming pool. The Dutch national team has been in. The Italians have been. The Chinese national team is coming in this month. There's a 5-star restaurant, the Divine Restaurant, and the children are automatically registered as members of the sports club when they become members of the school community. And many of the members of the Sports and Leisure Centre are in fact parents from the school. So many of our children will actually do the day's lessons from 8 till 2:30. Then they'll have co-curricular activities under the auspices of the school, and then they'll go through the gate, as we say, over to Tanapura, and they'll have tennis lessons, or volleyball lessons, or swimming lessons, or soccer lessons, or rugby, or whatever it may be. So we've got the benefit of being part of a larger organisation, but also of being what's called in Thai law a juristic entity right. in our own right. So as well as being a modern, up-to-date international school, we have all the benefits of being part of the Tanapura operation.
What a wonderful start for these kids to have in life.
All my life, Gary, I've been looking for a school like this, which has the facilities and the values that the PIADS operation has.
That's it. Well, I tell you what, it's been lovely speaking to you. I've got a final question for you, if you don't mind. What was the score on Saturday? No.
Well, the score on Saturday was terrible.
No. Finally, where do you see the school in, say, I don't know, 5 years?
Yeah, in 5 years' time, there are 2 aspects. Educationally, the International Baccalaureate Diploma Programme should be well embedded into the school by then. By 2016, we should have a whole K-12, as the Americans say, school, age from 3 to 18. So educationally, we should have this seamless robe of education in. We should have the IB's authorization for all 3 programs, and we're hoping to get accreditation from the Council of International Schools within that period as well. So educationally, the program should be well set. As far as the campus is concerned, we're already going to open a new building in June of this year, which will have designated music and drama rooms and practice rooms, a cafeteria, and a large open space area. And I would imagine that the building program will continue to go on in order that the excellence of the program may be carried out in equally excellent buildings.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you today, Dennison. I thank you so much. I wish my headmaster was as nice as you when I was growing up. But everyone here at 91.5 FM and, of course, around, wish you the best of luck with the scholarship program. I think it's absolutely a fantastic thing that you're doing up there. And we wish you the best of luck with everything.
Thank you very much indeed. And we'll be coming back to you in the autumn, because we'll be looking for scholarships for our IB diploma program at that time.
Well, we'll be looking forward to welcoming you back, and thank you so
very
much
indeed
and
for inviting me.
Have a fantastic week ahead with all the kids up at the store.
Thank you very much indeed, Gary.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you for your time.